All right, everybody. So I wanted to make a video of myself going through these notes for you. So if you want to follow along as you fill out the guided notes, as I take you through these notes, absolutely feel free. So let's go ahead and get started. So this civilization that we're talking about was based in the Indus River Valley. Just like all the other civilizations we've talked about, whether it be Mesopotamia and the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, or ancient Egypt in the Nile River, it's based around a river valley in which the river floods, creating fertile soil that allows agriculture to develop, and thus, from there, division of labor, specialization, and all the things that are required for a civilization. So you can see on the map here the Indus River and all its tributaries, and tributaries are rivers that are extensions of other rivers as they spread out. But you can see here in this highlighted color here, among the other color, where the Indus River Valley is, and on this map as well. So this is India right here as a modern day country, and this is where, in the modern day country of Pakistan, actually, where the Indus Valley civilization or the Harappan civilization existed. Harappan civilization, like I said, developed along the Indus River in present day Pakistan and existed between about 2300 BCE and 1700 BCE. So we're talking about roughly 4,000 years ago, so quite a long time ago. And they controlled large areas on both sides of the Indus River. We'll talk about how they were able to extend out from the river here in a couple slides. They had many different settlements and cities, but the two largest ones were known as Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro, and they're both on your map this week. They were obviously, like other civilizations that we've studied, quite dependent on agriculture. In particular, wheat, barley, dates, which are these little things you see down here, and then other vegetables. And they also used irrigation canals to bring water from the Indus River. So they would have the river itself dig canals out from the river and then bring that water further away from the river so they could use more land for agriculture. Life in Mohenjo-Daro. So it was one of two major cities next to the Indus River in modern day Pakistan. They used the standard of weights and measures to determine how much things were worth. And it was basically an early system of money or currency. The big innovation was that they had indoor plumbing, obviously a quite important thing. Their city streets were very well paved and well drained. They ran in a grid pattern, not unlike we see today in our society. The houses had flat roofs, and because it was so hot, they didn't have air conditioning back then 4,000 years ago. People actually hung out on the roof to take advantage of the cool breezes. I'm not advising you do that. And outside of the city, there was a fortress to protect from invaders. So you can see there an excavated site by archaeologists in the ancient city of Mohenjo-Daro of some ancient dwellings there. Kind of cool to look at. So some other different achievements. They developed India's first writing system. The reason we don't know a whole lot about the Harappans is that we don't have any idea what their language is, so we can't translate it. But they were well planned out cities, Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro. They had brick streets, sewer systems, plumbing. We all take those things for granted today. Just try to imagine living without them and understand how important their invention was 4,000 years ago in the Indus River Valley. Then we have the Aryan civilization. The Aryan civilization is important for reasons that we'll discuss a little bit more next quarter. But they first arrived in the area from about 2000 BCE from the northwest. You can see on the map there. They spread east and south into the central India and then into the Ganges River Valley, which is right here, if you can see my mouse, in the modern day country of India. And we know their history from religious writings like the Vedas, which is a collection of poems, myths, hymns, and rituals that were written by Aryan priests. So their society began as nomads, people that roamed around searching for food and water, and then transitioned into farmers. They didn't build big cities, and they had real small communities based on family ties that was usually led by a skilled warrior. The person known as the Rajas, which is a pretty cool sounding title, was a leader who ruled a village and then its surrounding land. Their language, and this is the last slide, the Aryans had to memorize important poems and hymns from the Vedas, and we can translate their language there, which was called Sanskrit. It was the most important language of ancient India. Originally, it was a spoken language, but over time, they figured out how to write it down. So that's all we have for these notes here. Hopefully, you're able to get your guided notes done. Have a great day.